Hey, beautiful people. Let's just slowly process the live as I do what I do. Yeah. So this evening we have part two of the wonderful Nigerian king, whose name is Idika. We're going to be sharing a re-emphasis of last week, perhaps dreams, herbs that heal, spirituality, and so much more. So let's see what Idika wants to share today. I've been looking forward to this live. Welcome, welcome, my brother. Welcome. Yeah. Let's burn some rosemary. Cleanse the air. And myself. Hey, sir, are you able to come in or shall I come get you? Can I come get you? No, I don't see you. I see you, Adika, on the live. There you go. Bring yourself all the way in. Hey, beautiful Maria. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Adika. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Okay. Well, I know there's a few people that wanted to re-see you today. Hopefully that they can join the live. But if not, this live always gets, it's downloaded to the page and it gets shared on multiple different platforms, Facebook included and YouTube. Yeah. All right. So, sir, it's your return. So I'm not going to take you back to the beginning and do a warm-up zone, but you can always share a little bit about yourself for those who has never seen you before when they watch this playback. Yeah. Tell us a little bit
Okay.
about you. Like we know that you're based in Nigeria.
Okay. SharmanSheer Idika, based in Nigeria, Delta
Mm-hmm.
State, Nigeria, and
Okay.
I'm a herbalist, and I'm also into the first African spirituality. We call
Oh,
it the
nice.
ordinary.
Nice. Okay. So would you like to
Call it
start with, go ahead, Adika. Did you want to say something?
we call it ordinary, and it is in the land.
Okay. Okay, nice. Thank you for that introduction. Where would you like to start today? Because I know last week we touched on a little bit of dreams, a little bit of this and that, but I know actually it was an hour live, but it felt like 15 minutes. It wasn't enough.
Mm.
And I had a voicemail. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Yeah. So I said, okay,
Yeah.
today I'm chilling and the live is all yours. Yeah. So you can take as
Okay.
long as the time you can share with us. All right. So today, where would you like to start today? Because I think people want to also hear more about what we spoke about, but you can also initiate any way that you want to today. Where would you like to start, sir?
I would like to start like this. The herbs and our spirituality, there's no difference
Yes.
from that. A lot of people tend to um, differentiate that or maybe divide it from who we are as a people. The herbs are also our way of life, and
Mm-hmm.
it is how we live. Because
Mm-hmm.
just as we are having experience, they are also having their own experience as a conscious living plants.
Wow. I never saw
So
it like that. Mm-hmm.
yes, it's also spirituality, because them also are expressing themselves. And again, you must also have to attain some certain kind of consciousness for you to be able to see them expressing themselves in the way that can heal. Because if you
Wow.
don't respect them, they cannot give you their potential. They can
Mm.
hide it from you because you need to also respect them.
And how would you say that one must respect them? Is that with appreciation, or tell me more about that?
Before you cut a plant, you must feel their pain, feel sorry
Ooh.
for them and apologize because they feel it through vibration, and
Oh.
they pay attention, they understand, they feel you, you know.
Wow, I've never thought about
Yes,
it like that. That's quite beautiful and
they,
also sad at the
they,
same time because I never thought about it like that.
Yes, they also work with time because there are some
Mm,
certain moments you take them, they will not be in their full potential.
yeah.
So herbs is you must also respect them before you cut them. Apologize. You know, I'm sorry for
Mm.
this, but I want to borrow your potential so I can get healed or hit someone else.
And you consciously remember to do this each time you use a herb, yeah?
Yes, you must. That
Yeah.
is something
I'm
you
gonna
have to
start doing that. I
embody it.
really like that.
And
Mm-hmm.
yes, you have to mean it when you do it. You know, it
No,
comes
yeah.
from inside. Even
Mm-hmm.
you're not speaking it out, you can just breathe in on them or breathe out
Mm-hmm.
on them, breathe on them, you know, give them some air. That carbon, feel them from inside is a vibration. So
Wow.
it must come from your deep part, the deep part of your indwelling, and then you express it to them. Sometimes when
Mm.
they see you, out of your consciousness, you see them shake. You think it's a wind, but no, they are responding to you.
Is that to the individual where it's growing, or is that the atmosphere in general, do you think? Or both?
No, they respond to your consciousness. Like
Okay.
if you have some certain kind of consciousness, just like when your consciousness is pure, a baby would naturally love you and laugh at you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So it's the same way with the plants. Just like when you light a candle and you come in, all these things are energy. You come into the candle with a high vibration. You see the candle dancing to your energy.
Brother, you just hit a note that I've been longing to talk to somebody about. And I don't know if it's you, we can touch on that later, but candle reading. I don't know anyone who does that. Do you know about that?
Yes.
Okay, we can talk about that in a minute, but carry on. I'm excited to talk about that.
So you see them respond to your energy. Plants do that. They can see you and dance. They respond to your energy. But
I'm looking at
sometimes we get
I'm looking at my candles now. So
yes. Sometimes
I'm always surrounded by candles. It's something that I love. Before I even
mm,
connected it to any form of spirituality, I've always loved the atmosphere of a hot bath, candles. And even before I do my talks, I prepare my space. I always have
mm,
multiple candles and water and everything beside me. But I never, up until recently, and I was watching a YouTube video, I never even knew or associated candles with uh, reading the flame and on how it forms its shape as it burns. I didn't know anything about that.
yes, yes.
So it's so interesting. Tell us a bit about that then, as we're talking about it now. Tell us, start from the beginning of what you can share with us, and I'm fascinated to know.
Yes, when you look at fire, you embody that energy. That
Mm-hmm.
energy dwells within you. So when you look at fire, you are also fire. That is why you can sweat and you can feel hot.
Yeah.
So all that energy dwells within you. So when that part of you is very balanced and you come into light, maybe
Mm-hmm.
candle, something like that, you will see them dance. You see them respond to that balance which dwells within you. But if you're not balanced, if that energy within you is not balanced, when you step into candle, you see them being in form of hazard. They burn too fast and they're not steady.
Hmm. So, for an example, where I have three different candles in my living room, just no particular reason. I just have a big
Mm,
lantern. I have, my little bowl here where I have my herbs that I burn, and I have another one in the middle of my room.
yes,
They're burning all different. One is hardly flickering, whilst
mm,
the other two are moving like this.
yes.
What do you think?
They embody all your mental consciousness because it's about mentalism. That is why
Mm.
our thoughts are vibrational because it can manifest. So when you step
Mm-hmm.
into candle, it's very easy for those lights to pick up all those different energies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Is there a
every
way?
thought,
Sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
so every thoughts happening within you, those different lights can pick them individually. So they will react to all the thoughts. So they can pick them individually. So, okay, when you have one candle and they are picking all these things, you see them dancing in different forms. But if you see, if you have different candles around you, you will see those different candles, they will react opposite from each other. That is the thoughts.
I'm looking at them. Two is mirroring each
Yes.
other. That is directly
Yes.
opposite each other. There's two that's directly opposite and they're mirroring each other. And the one in the middle is
Yes.
just like, oh, I don't care. I'm just doing my thing.
Yes. So is
Wow.
you. So you can use candle to express yourself. So what I'm saying in essence is,
And tell me how
if
to
you
do
can
that. How would I
steady
do that?
if you can steady yourself, you can train your mind. You can use it to train your mind, because everything is in the mind.
Is that candle
So
meditation I was told about the other day? Candle meditation?
yes, you can
Okay.
just keep. You can start with one. You can start with one candle. So when you sit in meditating, you're looking at the candle. Now, what you do is clear your mind. Give the candle a particular subject or something you want the light to do, and make
Okay.
sure your mind is cleared and you're not giving it different instructions.
So can you give me an
Just give one.
example to do, like it
You,
means
you
something
can
you want
just
to manifest?
you can just say, please dance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, if you can perceive me, please dance. You don't say it out, just express it. There's a way to express it. You embody it.
Yeah.
Yes, you become a whole of
Yeah.
everything. So it
Okay.
can also teach you. From that, you can start learning to leave your vibrations around you. So even when you're sleeping and somebody steps into your corner, you will immediately wake up, because something different stepped into that energy. So you can use it to train your mind and even know your surroundings. So when you're kind of relaxing and somebody steps into that wave of energy, you will suddenly wake up.
I'm like that anyway, very interestingly. I mean, I'm like that. I tend to sleep. It seems I can sense a lot.
Yes,
I mean, I can be even in somewhere, even in my own presence, and I'm fine. And suddenly I
yes,
get a sensation and I'm uneasy.
yes,
Yeah. Or I
yes.
get a sensation and I'm smiling because I don't know what it is.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
because you're embodying your
Mm.
environment. That's the scary
Okay.
thing about being a spiritual person, because as
Yes.
you're growing, you're opening different types of portals. And in that
Mm-hmm.
portals, a lot of people have to heal through you. So when you
Mm-hmm.
come into an environment, you can just embody someone who is being happy on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sometimes what you feel is not you.
Mm-hmm. 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 Interesting.
Yes, that is the most scary things about. People don't talk about it, but it's true, because
Let's
you
talk about it.
sometimes when you go out and you become too sad, you need to check yourself, because sometimes it's not you.
What do you
You can
think it
take
is?
up.
Do you think that spirit has, I don't know, body snatched somebody or something, like, or transferred itself, or
Yeah, yes, as a spiritual person, when you feel sorry for someone, that is why you have to also know how to be compassionate, because sometimes when a spiritual person is compassionate, they're not just being compassionate because they are
mm-hmm.
feeling pity for you. They also
Mm-hmm.
want to take away the stress you're having
Okay.
at that moment. So they also
Mm-hmm.
feel your pain because they've gone through it. So when they are compassionate, they embody that energy. So when they embody that energy, it can also affect them, because
Mm-hmm.
some people around them, they can also express that energy when they want to release it angrily. So a lot of people might not understand that this is not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you're compassionate
Interesting.
as a spiritual person, you must also learn to protect your energy.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Before we go on to that little bit there, because I'd love to explore that more with you in terms of self-protection, I just want to touch and then close that part in regards to the candle. Can there be, with everything, some could say good or bad, someone could say there's no good or bad, it's light and dark, whichever way we want to see it. Is there anything to do with candle meditation and the focus on candles that we need to be mindful of? I mean, like mindful of misuse or something of that nature, or how it can affect someone in a negative way when we're not using it correctly or something like that.
To embody all this energy is like this. It doesn't affect you. It will help release some negative energy. You're just practicing. It doesn't put you in harm's way. You're just practicing how to work with your mental consciousness.
And this is with candle meditation, yeah?
Yes. So that candle will teach you a lot and make you understand that you are not just who you think you are. You are more than that, because you can actually embody anything that is natural, because you are natural. So anything that is not artificial, because fire is not artificial. Fire is a natural thing. So which means when you go to a river, you can also embody the energy within that place. That is why when you walk barefoot, you can also ground yourself through that exercise. Yes,
I love it.
So it's just the same thing. You can, like, there are people who don't even know that they are more better when they meditate with fire. Some people don't know that.
It was recommended to me. I've never really tried it. I mean, on one of my other lives, with a beautiful American sister, and she was doing sound healing on my live only a couple of months back. And we were discussing my bizarre dreams. And she was like, Silver, you would benefit from candle meditation. Now, I'm not the type that just jumps on anything, because I do feel like one brush cannot paint all. Sometimes some things are not for you. So with me, I tend to have to be called by my own spirit vibration to interact with something. Not because someone said. But I did become curious. And as a child, I always found myself near my parents' fireplace, just sitting there. I was always attracted to it. And now, as I say, I've always got candles on the whole time. So it's unconsciously done. I didn't even do it knowing that there was a connection there.
Yes, if you have the ability to look at a candle until you can see it, maybe 6 different types. One candle, you can see them in 6 different stands.
Wow, that's
your mind is a very powerful mind. You have to practice. Yes, that is how you embody them.
I might feel like I'm tripping if I start seeing 6 different flames.
Yes, you have to. You work with your vision. Your vision is what magnets the embodiment.
Yeah.
So you use your vision to attract. So when you use your vision, you can attract them and you embody them.
Yeah.
They become the expression of your thoughts. Just like when you're using a pendulum.
Yeah.
So it works with the mind, it's instruction. So it's just like
are you into that? Are you into pendulums and things like that?
No, I don't do it, but I understand that it's mental. Yes, it's mental. It works with the mind.
Okay. And is that something that you do? Are you personally a practitioner of candle meditation? Do you use that in your rituals and stuff? Okay.
Yes, I do it very well. Even I look into the sun, I look into the moon. It helps the intuition.
Wow.
Sometimes you just look into the sun. It helps strengthen the vision.
So are you actually able to hold a focus on the sun? They say it can blind you because it's so bright. Can you actually hold a focus looking in the sun?
Yes, I can hold it, but it's not going to be for too long, because when it starts getting hot, I have to remove my eyes. It's not hurting you. When it feels painful, it's not hurting you.
Yeah.
That is because the sun is becoming the same with your eyes. So it feels unnatural. So you have to remove your eyes as a human being. But naturally, you are becoming the sun.
That's
So
so
whatever,
interesting. Mm-hmm.
yes, you're becoming one with it. So it will hurt you. Why? Because you have a mirror within, which is the optic.
Mm-hmm.
So when the sun hits your eye, the optic takes over because the optic is a reflection of the sun within you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why it deals with the illusions.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is fighting against the illusion. So the
Yes.
programming and everything, the metrics,
Mm-hmm.
everything is about the illusion, the optic. It's not
The
even the third
illusion
eye
and
because
disillusion. Mm.
yes, people think the third eye, what they call the third eye, which is the pineal gland, is actually the all-seeing eye. No, it's the optic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the optic is the most important thing that controls the illusion. If you live in a fantasy, you're not in the moment. So there is illusion
Mm-hmm.
happening. So
Being
when there is
present.
illusion, yes,
Mm-hmm.
when there is an illusion happening in the optic, the person is actually in a programming. You will never leave that. So the optic is
Interesting.
even very more important than anything. That is the all-seeing eye. That is the third eye that sees
Whilst
everything.
we're
That
on
is
the
what makes
topic,
you a clever. Huh?
whilst we're on the topic, Adika, you mentioned the third eye, and we're going to go on to. Let me just stop for one quick moment and just greet anyone that's on the live. Hi, everyone. Today we have the return of Adika on the part 2 from last week. We if you missed the beginning, please watch the playback because it was really interesting, speaking about just not necessarily different types of herbs, but respecting the herb before you actually digest it. That's the interesting part that we touched on. And then we started speaking about candles, and this is where we're at. But you've mentioned now about the third eye. As you know, we're on media, and most media streams are quite trending on all these topics, you know? And so, whilst many call it the third eye, I'm really keen to call it the first eye. And I think I'm a part of that tribe where people call it the first eye as opposed to the third. Yeah. Okay. And also, um, I've heard the very rare amount of people speaking about that they wish they never opened their third eye. Because obviously people speak about it, but they have not opened their third eye. You know what I mean? You know they haven't. Yeah. It's a trending conversation. But for those who has said that they've gone that deep, a few people has, I guess, almost lost it for what they've experienced in the realm that words can't even utter to speak. What's your thoughts? I mean, you yourself, would you say that your first or third eye has been opened or you've experienced that?
Um, when people say opening third eye or opening their first eye,
Mm-hmm.
most 90% of them is referring to the pineal gland
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because many don't even know about the first eye, which is the
This is what I
optic.
know. I know this, but it's just media. You know that, isn't it? It's
Yes.
media.
So
Mm-hmm.
what when you many 90% of people who actually think they opened the first eye opened the pineal. What the pineal does
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell us
is
the
about the
difference.
intuition. Yes, it tells you the difference and makes you think out of the box.
Mm.
Yes,
Okay.
the pineal makes you realize that yes, there is something off.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yes, there is something unnatural about the way you're living.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the realization of self. It happens with the pineal.
Mm-hmm.
That is when you learn through the lessons of life that you are all alone and you have to save yourself all by
Oh my
yourself.
God.
You have
Yes.
to
Yes.
do it
Yes.
by yourself. That
Mm-hmm.
is when you start taking responsibility. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like you now, the dot on your face is pointing to the pineal and also
Mm-hmm.
to the optic.
Do you know, for some reason, I feel like I sensed that you was going to say something about that vibration. You know, everyone sees this differently, or whether you're Asian and what it means. For
Yes,
me, it's a sign of equilibrium as well, and depending on how you see it. Mm-hmm.
yes. So, like when people meditate, when
Mm-hmm.
you meditate, you're calming the mind.
Mm-hmm.
and you're not opening anything. Meditation
Okay.
helps you calm the mind. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason why we are not opening anything through meditation is because there is a knowledge we do not have. Because the
Mm-hmm.
meaning of meditation in Latin means to watch. So if you have to be watchful, that means you have to wait for something. You're meditating because you're waiting for something.
What about it also meaning to ponder? And why I say it's very interesting you say in Latin because I remember way back in the day when I used to go to church, church, growing,
Yes,
and they would always say, "Oh, we rebuke the meditation. You mustn't meditate, and you mustn't this, and all this stuff." Yeah. But
yes,
then when I looked at the word via the regular dictionary, it just means to ponder.
yes,
Yeah. So when I looked at it, I thought, well, it's not meditation that's bad. It's what you're meditating on.
yes,
Yeah. And that's where I differentiated the doctrine separate to spirituality for myself.
yes.
Yeah. So meditation
That is
means to
why,
ponder as well. Yeah.
yes, that is why in the Bible they use watchful.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't mention meditation because
That's right.
the expression of that word in Latin means to meditate.
Mm-hmm. Good to know.
So there is this allegory in the Bible, that we should be watchful like a watchman, because the Son of Man will sneak up on us in the middle of the night like a thief.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we are being watchful for the rising of the sun within. That is why you need to meditate. So if you're meditating because you need to relax your mind, that is why after some days you go back to the negative pattern. But
Mm.
if you're meditating to awaken something, you become awoken for life, because you will never walk in darkness but walk in light. Why?
So
Because you have awoken the light within.
So when you meditate, do you have a specific purpose? Is it to relax or to maintain or transcend higher in your spiritual enlightenment and or getting closer to your higher self, whichever way we want to put it? Will these be the reasons why you choose to meditate?
Yes,
Yeah.
meditation should be about connecting the higher universe,
Mm-hmm.
which is within.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not meditating for that, probably you're meditating to calm your nerves or just calm the
Mm-hmm.
mind. But what we should be doing is actually meditating to rise the mind, because to calm the mind will stay calm for some days. After that,
Mm-hmm.
the chaos arise again.
Yeah,
So we need to
absolutely.
meditate because we are creating the rebalance within, which is to elevate the optic.
Mm-hmm.
So you can meditate to elevate the pinot, but you're not elevating the optic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that means a man can be intuitive enough, but be so blind to even see.
Mm-hmm.
So you are intuitive doesn't mean you have a clairvoyant eye.
Absolutely. Allow me to share a bizarre experience with you, yeah? It's a weird one. Okay. Um, for as long as I remember, I've always been more interested in just mindfulness. Of obviously meditation is a part of mindfulness, yeah, or mind
Yes,
awareness. But I mean, like the gentle visualization, the gentle breath work, which would calm me. Yes, for calming mainly is why I started, that journey. But interestingly enough, and I'm going to ask you what you think of this when I tell you what happened. I consciously, without any evidence, have always been afraid. This is of me saying a private spiritual thing about me, guys, right? I had always been aware that I held on to myself. And I always questioned for a long time up until 2 years ago, if you're holding on to yourself and I'm not allowing myself to rise in the meditation, what is it I'm afraid of? There was an apprehension there. And it's almost like I felt very strongly that there was going to be an experience that I wasn't ready for. And I don't mean the regular experience. I mean, I have, you know, you embody, you know who you are. Sometimes you don't, but you feel it.
Mm,
Yeah, I was afraid.
mm,
So one day I said, you're never going to get the peace if you keep being afraid to reach it. So I decided about 3 years ago, I decided just to let go, still afraid, but let go. And I just went in. And I was doing it was a visualization, but I just went in. And I had the most bizarre experience. I felt as though, and I wasn't imagining, I don't think I was intentionally imagining this. I felt as though I was in the ocean. It was one of my favorite places. And whilst being in the ocean, I felt as though, imagine your body has many shells over your body. So it's me, but then the first shell opens, another shell opens. I had multiple, like about 3 layers of shells that was opening. And each shell that opened of me, I I felt myself physically in the meditation, feeling a sense of exhilaration and happiness I've never experienced before in real life. And as I was coming out of the ocean, you know when your eyes are closed and you feel the sunlight, you can see the redness. I felt the sunlight. And as I came up, I felt really happy. And for some reason, I just opened my eyes. And then for the 2 days following, I felt very bizarre. I felt unusual. I wasn't sure if I was going a bit funny. I just felt weird. And I spoke to a couple of people and they were like, sometimes when you go through another realm, you're going to feel different. But I've never gone back to that place again. I don't want to go there. I'm not ready for what I believe that I'm capable of in many, many realms. What's
okay.
your thoughts? So I'm a bit of a chicken
What
now. So
what
I
what
just do breath work now. Keep it simple.
what you what you embody is
Mm.
one, your past life.
Do you think?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes. Whatever we consciously know or
Wow.
consciously aware of is what we have been mastering over lifetime.
Do you
So
know?
number one,
Go on,
you
my
are
bad.
scared, you are scared to visit who you used to be. Because that
Mm.
that is your highest potential. You know it, and you know very well in your consciousness that you're not stepping into that. Why? It must have cost you something in a past life. So we can also
Mm.
embody the consciousness of the sacrifice we made and also be afraid in this lifetime of that particular sacrifice, not to go through it again. You might not know what it is, but
Yeah,
within
I
you, you
don't.
will have the
Mhm.
sense that you are afraid of something.
Do you know what's interesting about what you said? For years, I've always been on the fence in regards to, like, I've never, you have belief, but not the same as knowing. Okay.
Mm,
So I've
yes.
always had a feeling that I've been here before, but there's no proof that I can fathom. Okay. So I've
Mm,
never really subscribed to it. I'm like, okay, if it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. But I had somebody else in my life. He's returning next week. Okay. And look, this week, Friday, sorry, as well, this week, Friday. And he is, he's got other abilities similar but different to yours. And he said to me, you're in your past life, one of your past lives, you were a mermaid, Silver. So I think that's very strange because I've always been fascinated about mermaids. I don't know why, but it's interesting where I mentioned the water and you saying there's a past life there, and he's already said something similar.
yes, we have been so many things,
Mm-hmm. So you
but
believe
because
naturally
of
about past lives. Mm-hmm.
yes, because of now, a lot of us we've forgotten who we used to be. Then
Mm-hmm.
that mermaid is actually you rising in everything. You know
Mm-hmm.
that is why I don't like when the word being in nothing state. I don't like it
Mm.
because
What is
because
that
you
word? I
don't
just want to say it again.
yeah, you don't have to be in nothing state to attract everything. Why? Because
Okay.
when you're not dwelling in your highest consciousness, you are already nothing.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
being in the same consciousness with the universe means you're becoming everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're becoming one with the universe. So which means you're vibrating same with the universe. That is how people manifest. And that is how you become the healer. Expressing that energy, you can be able to heal other people around you. You
Mm-hmm.
can talk to plants, you can respond to
Mm-hmm.
different energies, even animal.
Can
So
you
you're no longer.
identify? Sorry, as you
Hmm?
mentioned the word healer, and again, you're in media, based on your abilities, I'm sure you can not guess, but detect, sorry, those who are impersonators. I have a lot of them that come to my inbox every week, about 3 times a week, and they have their message. I've been sent from the ancestor to read you. I get these messages. It's a copy and paste. It's the exact message that everybody's sending me. The same one. So I know they're not real. Yeah. But do you feel
But
like you can, do you receive it as well?
a true spiritualist cannot ask you for a reading. You have to ask for it.
Thank you. Yeah. Because I already know, even if it's dark rituals that people practice, um, in certain times you have to give permission because one person came to my inbox before and they told me things that they never asked to give me a reading. They just said all the things that I have been going through. I don't know who these people are, remember?
Yes,
And they said,
some.
if you want
Mm,
a reading, they asked me permission. They asked my permission. And they said, we have to ask, is it Oshun? I can't remember which name they mentioned. No, the Oracle. Sorry, they
mm.
said, we got to speak to the Oracle. And I said, no, thank you, but thanks. So I know the difference between the impersonators and that particular one is real.
Mm.
Even if it's a
Yes,
darker source, I know it's real.
some people can be led to tell you something. That doesn't mean it's real because there are so many herbs that can actually help your intuition to determine what anybody is going through. That is why even when they told you the most of the truth, that doesn't mean they are real.
That's right, because I don't know where they got their abilities or power from in the first
Yes,
place.
there are some herbs that if squeezed and put in your eyes, it can help you dictate all those things. And there are other ones you can use to
Wow, those
wash.
herbs still
Yes,
exist.
when you use it, yes, if you use it to wash your face, it helps straighten your intuition.
Wow. Do me a favor. I'm just going to pause you for a moment, just so I can give the viewers, read a few of the comments that I see coming through. And then maybe we can go on to actual mentioning herbs, as you've gone back onto the herbs, that you don't have to disclose that particular one if it's a risk, in that realm. But we can also talk about some of the herbs that you may recommend that does have gifts that you are allowed to speak of. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And before I do that, I've been longing to tell you, Adika, the minute you've come on this live, do you know that your spirit is glowing very highly today? Do you
How?
know? And it isn't the
But
light, it isn't the
I've been
lighting.
meditating. I've been meditating throughout
Let
today. I've
let
been
me
on
tell
my own
you, it's like
solitude.
from the minute I've seen you, I've been wanting to tell you, but I've been trying to find a good time to tell you. I've seen you on your lives. I've seen you on my lives. This is the spirit that I've not seen, and it's not because you're just smiling. There is I can't even put a word to it, but there's a strong light that's coming from you, and it's very like ooh,
Wow.
but it's a good one. So I don't know what you were doing, meditating, whatever, but it's a very high frequency.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, I can see it and I can feel it very strongly. So
I've
yeah, I like
I've
it.
been on meditation.
I feel your energy is extremely centered in this moment. That's the feeling I
Yes.
get, and energy that I need to become more of. So it's infectious and I need it. Come on, give me some, give me some, give me some. I won't drain yours, but I just take a little bit, okay?
No
All right.
problem.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see a few comments. All right, let's go to Maria. And I love Maria. I specifically love it when you write in capitals on my live. Yeah, because you know, girl. Yeah, let's see. Okay, Maria had a few things to say today. Let's have a look. Sister Maria, another spiritual queen. And
You look
hi
very
to
much like
Kanita, if you're
Maria.
still there, Kanika. Meditation, still the mind, very relaxing. Yes, this is another. And as we know, guys, spirituality is an individual thing. There's no one size fits all. It's not like religion, right? Adika, it's not, yeah. Whoa, Maria, seriously? Girl, Maria, you remember I thought you the other day on the phone? I'm still trying to discover stuff. Yeah. So she says, Silva, it sounds like you may have been was that shamanism in your past life? Hmm. Gosh, I wonder. I don't know. It's interesting. You'd have to tell me in
You will
books.
know when you know, how wouldn't you know?
How,
Because whatever you're interested in is what you are.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had some very interesting, scary, but enlightening experiences about 3 years ago. I will tell you offline because I do think some things need, as transparent as I am as a soul, I really am. I think it's important to know to rebalance when privacy is power, and keeping something
Yes.
for yourself. It's very important, no matter what it is. So I will talk to you about that offline. I would love to know what you think about certain experiences. Yeah. But for now, can we touch a little bit on the plants that any kind of plants that that you may have the top three or top four of? You mentioned a little while ago about certain plants that people can use to actually enhance their vision,
Mm.
and doesn't mean that they're real pure I don't know, healers, psychics, whatever. Are you allowed to mention that, or is that a bad idea, what plant that is?
Is actually a bad idea because
All right, you see
there
why
is a
I asked that.
process.
I'm
There
very
is a
conscious of
process
that.
for it. Yes, yes. There is a
Right,
process
I'm very
for
conscious
it
that it's
because
not everything you should spill on media, and because it can be misused and be placed in the wrong hands. I do fully
yes,
understand that,
because
but that's why I thought I'd ask.
it can cause mental issue
For those who do it.
for those who apply it wrongly because too much of the
Ooh.
herbs is also a problem. So there is a certain period for it. During the
Mhm.
full moon, you have to do it. So you must follow the process. The time and everything is
Do you use
very
it
much.
yourself?
No, 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 no. I don't use it. I work with myself through meditation
I'm
and
glad to hear it. So it's
meditating
natural for you.
the true
Mm-hmm.
way. Yes, there is a true way to meditate, and you will awaken the clover inside. There is a part of you that is just there. You haven't even touched.
Mm-hmm. Well, now
A
when I
lot of
say
us,
I just do breath work, I'm scared. I'm not going back down that place. I'm not ready to go that deep at
a
this
lot of us,
moment.
that that was who we are. That is why there are certain things you can do or manifest better when you were a kid, but now when you're grown up, you cannot do it any longer. Why? Because there is a process during that time your body was
Mm-hmm.
following, and now you're
Mm-hmm.
grown, the body is no longer following that process. It's a natural
Mm-hmm.
thing because when you start having experience of adulthood and all that, you will lose the natural state of the body. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
natural state is what makes you more conscious. That is why children are powerful. Why? Because there is
Yeah.
something naturally happening within them that is not being stopped from happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as an
Absolutely.
adult, we no longer follow the rules. That rules
Mm-hmm.
is very important. I don't know if I can talk about it here.
You are allowed to speak about anything, my brother. Anything you're comfortable with, you can express.
Okay. Let's go just a little back to the herbs. When
Yeah,
you
let's
see
just touch on
pear,
that.
what do you see? What do you see?
When I
Let me
see what
give
was
you
that?
how to understand herbs. When you see a pear, what do you see? What do you understand when you look at a pear?
Here, to be honest, I don't
Good
have anything
evening.
to. Okay, um, I don't. see anything but the pear when it comes to a pear. I don't see anything but the fruit, to be honest. I think
What
so. I think that's exactly.
what does your instinct? Listen to your instinct. You're not speaking from your instinct.
Okay.
When you look at a pear, just picture a pear. Tell me what you think it reflects.
I don't know.
When I
Because
see a pear, I
I've
see a
got a creative
pregnant
mind,
woman.
so I could say the pear is the pear. That could be a reflection of a creative male part. It could be there's many. I can look at it in all different creative ways, but in reality, I guess I only see the pear. I've never really thought about it. Let me know your thoughts.
When I look at a pear, I see a pregnant woman.
Ah, okay, okay. Should we see what other people said to that comment before we carry on? That would be interesting, yeah? Hi, Sacred
Yes.
Butterfly. Girl, you missed the beginning. You're going to want to hear the beginning, Sacred Butterfly. Trust me, yeah? All right. Mm, okay, Maria, you're spot on. Pair a woman womb. Okay. I see a woman, light says. Okay, you lot are on it. I missed the mark there. Interesting. I'll never see the fruit the same again. Carry on. Mm-hmm. Carry on, Adika.
So when you look at any plant, they are already expressing themselves. So
Mm.
you need to pay attention. That is why you don't need to look at them with the physical eyes. You look at them with the inner eyes. That
Mm-hmm.
is how you understand their expression. It's not like they will actually open their mouth and speak to you that this is what I do.
So, is it possible for multiple people to have a different rendition of what they see? Because we can't all see the same thing, no? Or do you think there's
No,
do you think there's a universal vision with certain things? Well,
no, is a
united.
natural is there is a different you cannot that is why you cannot miss the natural law.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at a natural thing, you cannot add and you cannot remove. Just like
Mm-hmm.
I asked you, there are so many other people who saw a woman.
There was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So every person who have the intuition and consciousness of the
Mm-hmm.
plant will tell you the same thing. They will tell you a woman.
Interesting.
Some people might not say a womb because that is where the medicine comes. If you can actually
Mm-hmm.
identify that this is a pregnant woman, that is where the knowledge of medicine comes in.
Mm-hmm.
The
So,
ability to express where the plant is referring to.
mhm. So would that be the obvious one too, like a banana being the man, which is you can't miss that. Would that be the same representation? Or when people see a
You
banana,
mean
they
you
see
mean
a male
you mean
genital?
you mean you mean banana?
Mm-hmm.
When you see banana, what do you see? When you look at a
As
banana, what do you see?
naturally, when you see a banana, you think of a man. Yeah. When you're learning,
No.
let me finish. When you're doing sex education in schools, they
Mm-hmm.
even use a banana to put the practice the safe sex and put the condom on. So bananas are used
Mm-hmm.
in many forms of representation. When I look at it, that is the first thing that many people would see. But what do you see when you see a banana?
When I look at a banana, I see the bowel, the big stomach.
The big stomach
Mhm.
of who? The woman or the man?
Both sex, both gender, the
I don't
same
know.
thing.
Banana looking
The
like a
stomach,
stomach? I don't
yes.
know. I don't
Banana
see it.
is good. Banana is very good for the stomach, especially
Oh,
people
what
who
it's
have
good for, the
ulcer,
potassium, and
gastric,
yeah, that we know.
gastric ulcer, gastric ulcer.
Mm-hmm. It's yeah,
So
because
when you
I
look,
have yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
banana is your stomach, the artery to the stomach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Actually, when I'm
Yeah,
having
banana
tummy issues,
reduces the
sometimes it works.
gases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but the plants you when you look at you should be seeing a man is carrot. Root plants are more of a man.
So basically, it's that I'm not going to look at plants the same, which is really beautiful that you brought this to my attention.
Mm,
So it's just,
yeah.
I mean, whether or not we all see the same things, what I would take from this is at least give the awareness, pay attention.
Yes.
You know, that's what I've got from this
Yes.
as well. But it's a beautiful thing, not just to eat it and say, oh, it's a carrot, but maybe, as you said, which someone asked in the comments, what did we miss? You have to watch the playback. Yeah. But what I will touch on
So
again is what Adika was speaking about is respecting plants. And before you cut it, actually apologize to it. So I'll give you that taster. You can watch the playback. Can you now share specific herbs with us that you feel like some herbs that you know that actually heals according to your experience and testimony, maybe?
I'm
Can you mention a few
I'm
plants?
I'm I'm already telling you herbs that are powerful.
Okay,
We've
all right.
talked about the pear.
Mhm,
The pear
mhm,
is good for the womb. When you get the leaf, the leaves, you cook them, drink the
mhm.
water, is very nice for the womb.
Okay. What does it
You
do
know,
for the womb? What are the benefits of it for the womb?
it keeps the womb healthy and clean. It cleans the womb. That is the
Okay.
job. It will clean the womb. And not only the leaf, when you're boiling it, you need to get the seed inside the fruit because the seed is
Okay.
important. That is why it's embodying a seed inside. The seed
Mm-hmm.
is the child. So while you eat the fruit, you keep the seed for planting. The seed is the child.
Okay.
So for it to protect the child inside the womb, so what you're eating is the flesh of its womb while you
Reflective.
plant back the
Okay.
seed. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good for the womb. So when you take it, you're taking drugs for the womb.
And in,
Naturally, very nice for the womb.
and
And
interestingly
blood
enough,
circulatory,
sorry, okay. And interestingly enough,
circulatory system. Yes.
okay. And interestingly enough, when you see like maybe stylists, people that style people's clothing, when they're looking
Mm,
at body shapes, they always say this woman shaped like a pear, this woman shaped like an
mm,
apple, this woman shaped like, and it's interesting how they use fruits to describe a woman's physique in the realm of fashion or things like that. But you see bananas, as we touch on that.
mm,
Again, I have to have a disclaimer. Bananas doesn't work for everyone. You know, when I was having stomach issues, I do recall the hospital asking me to eat bananas and it will help settle me. And 99.9, it worked. But for many others, bananas create stomach issues and makes them constipated. So one size doesn't fit all, you know, although it's going to have a generic a healthiness, potassium or whatever else it has in bananas, you know, and it's quite filling. But some people, it makes them constipated. It's the total opposite, even if it's, you know.
the constipation is because of the gas. Now, when
Okay.
you're using banana, that is the thing. When you're using plant, you're using banana to help cool the stomach because when there is
Yeah.
injury in the stomach, you need the banana to
Yeah.
help the stomach because it
Because
wouldn't be.
it binds the stomach, rebinds the stomach, doesn't it? Hmm.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, it
yes.
helps me
So
sometimes. Hmm.
that is where the flour comes in. You need the flour and you need the water from inside the plant.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
if you're using only one, it might not work for you. So that is where you
Ah,
combine the whole thing. It's a process.
yes. My brother said
Like I
that,
said, in
combining
pear,
herbs.
in
Yes.
pear, you combine the whole thing. The seed is important as the leaves and the stem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the same thing. If you like for the men, we have always talking about the women. Let me balance it now. If you look at a carrot now,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at a carrot, what I see in carrot is a man. Why is it a man? Because a plant which its root is the fruit is the plant that refers to a man,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which means the plant is carrying its seed within.
So you thought you have kind of like a agenda for the fruits and the plants, yeah, the men and the
All of
women, yeah?
yes, all of them are expressing what they heal. So
Mm-hmm.
this is where carrot comes in. Like
Interesting.
people who have this normal this cancer that is always happening to men.
Oh, prostate
There's what
cancer.
the
I done a talk on that a couple of weeks ago. Prostate cancer. Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. That is carrot. Carrot is good for it. Men who their
Okay.
ball, probably the ball, one is bigger than the other. Probably the other one is too soft, like is kind of turning into watery or
Oh,
something like
wow.
that. Start eating carrot. Eat carrot every day.
Is
You
that
wouldn't
is that
even
would
know
would
when.
you have raw carrots preferably, not so much boiled or more raw? Yeah.
Raw carrot, no, you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to boil it. When you boil it, you're killing the nutrients.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So carrot is even better when you are done cooking and maybe the food is chilled. Then you slice in the carrot. That is how to
Mm.
eat it. So
Okay.
you cannot you cannot allow the natural things go through unnatural process. It will
Mm-hmm.
kill it. So eat carrot always, every day. Make sure carrot is your best fruit. If you're a man like this,
Mm. So do you have a favorite? I mean, other than carrot, do you have a favorite herb that whether you drink it, I said boil it or eat it or snack on it, do you have a favorite herb that you would like to share with us that you like?
my favorite, I have different favorite herbs. I might be going like this and say herb I will take and chew.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm free to chew any herb. I chew them. I eat them fresh. Any maybe I'm just going. I love it. I'll just plead with it, take it and chew on
So
them.
there's a
So I
few
don't have
leaves that you
favorite one.
that's on your live on TikTok. You were speaking
Mm.
about a leaf. It's called velvet something. Tell me.
Black velvet,
Right. So,
African black velvet.
tell us about black velvet before we so we can end this particular
Okay.
part.
If you look at black velvet, what do you see?
Black velvet,
Mm.
as in the material,
The
or
material when you
yeah?
open it from the shell and you touch it, it is very soft.
Oh
So
yeah. Hmm.
when you feel it, it feels like the liver. When you
Oh
feel it
wow.
with your hands, it feels like the liver.
Mm-hmm.
So, which
Mm-hmm.
means it's very nice for anything circulatory and antibiotics for malaria or typhoid.
That's it. That's what you said. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
naturally, is a high vitamin C or folic acid.
And is this only in Nigeria that this plant could be seen, or?
Yes, is all over the place here in Nigeria. It's too much.
Mm. So you can easily access it. You can go to the fields or whatever. You can just pick it as you like. And
Now, yes, now is the season. Is everywhere in Nigerian market now.
and it's you boil it or you can just chew it or both. Must be, isn't
You
it?
don't need to boil it. You can gather it enough, soak it in water. You just need to drink the water.
Ah, okay.
Yes, it will clear up everything through urine. It helps the liver because when malaria comes, it attacks the liver.
Mm-hmm.
So when you drink it, it helps cleanse the liver and keep the liver healthy. You can also chew on the leaf. Even the stick is very nice for toothbrush.
Ah, natural. Mm-hmm.
Yes, natural
Mm-hmm.
because
Natural.
there's kind of this water that comes out of it that also heals the body
Mm-hmm.
because when you look at the tongue is connected to the liver.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is why if anything happens to the liver, the tongue will speak.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit like
So
when
this,
you feel like when people's eyes, the colors of people's eyes around the white part goes more yellow. Obviously, some for some people a sign of internal infection or diseases, isn't it? When the eye change color and your tongue
yes,
changes and mm-hmm.
yes, their body is expressing something that is not
Mm-hmm.
usual within them anymore. So,
Mm-hmm.
because when something is about to happen to you, your body will tell you, especially when you're taking something the body doesn't like.
Mm-hmm. You
So, the
heard of
body will report by acting ill.
mm-hmm.
So when it
Right.
adds ill, it is kind of telling you what you're taking is not good for me. So you need to stop. If you don't stop, the body will relapse to it and get killed
Bit sick.
by that.
So being a herbalist, have you heard of Dr. Sebi and people like that?
People like
Dr.
who?
Sebi, have you heard of Dr. Sebi? Uh,
Sebi, no.
yeah, I'm going to send you something. I mean, he is, I would say, would you not say internationally known pretty much for being very much a hierarchy herbalist, so much so that there's speculations of how he left this planet. You know, when you know too much, you know what I mean? Because if I start
Yes,
mentioning things,
yes,
they'll just shut down this live. So sometimes when you know too much, people might come up missing. You understand? So
yes, yes.
he knew a lot, and there was a lot of cases of him proving that he's cured people with AIDS and so on. And obviously, you know, there was speculation until multiple people kept coming forward saying, he has cured me. I'm fine now. But he's very known to be a herbalist and so much more. There's a lot of documents. I will send you some of his stuff. Obviously, it's a different
Okay.
time, but he is one of the people that I think thousands will actually look to or look up to in terms of the person that brought the awareness to us with a lot of,
Mm.
you know, healing stuff. So I think you might appreciate some of the things he might say, you
Wow.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
But well, in things like that, I mean, do you have any kind of thoughts on plants or I guess herbs in general that you may have heard or even witnessed that has an effect on things like, you know, STDs, sexual diseases? Can you recommend any that you think that people can maybe look into that can assist, you know?
Mm. That is what they have been hiding. That is where sour shop comes in. They hide
Sour,
it.
did you
Uh,
say sour sap?
sour shop, yes.
Did you say that? Oh, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Would that be the
Sour
leaf
shop,
itself? Yeah.
sour shop stem, sour shop leaf, sour shop root. Get them together. Get cashew stem, especially
Mm.
when the sun hits it in the morning.
Mm. Okay, so that's a assisting method to eradicate and eliminate things in the body, yeah?
Very powerful.
Mm. You see,
Very
with
powerful.
these type of topics, when we start going in layers, you will notice that I have to be word sensitive because believe it or not, guys, you know, people's lives just suddenly go missing with people saying too much. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? You know, even a man
Yes.
like yourself who shares a lot, you know what I'm saying? The universe like to play
Yes.
games. Not even the
Mm.
universe, those who misuse the universe. Let me make it
Yes.
clear.
Yes. Of course. Go
Yeah?
against the natural law.
Do you understand? So I hope you like got that last one that you shared is a gem that people can look into.
Mm. No,
You know?
I know, but I just made a statement. Whoever is wise will understand what I just
Oh
said.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Soursop
Absolutely.
is
Thanks for sharing that. Sounds
powerful.
quite a big one.
Everything about it. The
Mm-hmm.
fruit, the fruit itself, the
Mm-hmm.
stem, the leaf, everything. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
that the leaf is very good for depression and anti-anxiety?
I'm an anxious queen. I better start drinking more of that. I
Yes,
better start drinking more of that.
the
Mm-hmm.
leaf can sedate you and make you sleep. And
Oh
while
wow.
you sleep, it will release all those toxic energy.
My mother said that to me about people drinking that and then being people saying that it makes them feel, you know, weird. But I don't like anything that too much that mood alters me. I feel like a bit out of control. So I don't know.
No,
No?
soursop is the leaf is very spiritual. They used it in the days. You know,
Okay.
they no longer use it now because people don't know the
Okay.
vital importance of that plant. Soursop leaf can sedate you and release all the negative energy, especially people who
Is there
work
a
in
good
a
time of day that you recommend that
yes,
people take it?
Yes, it depends because you have to watch your schedule. If you have to do it, it must be when you're not working, when you don't have to bother about work, because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to sedate you and make you, you know, remove you from this world for a
Oh,
moment.
hell, scared.
So which means no, it's not like you're going to die or lose control. No, you can still go about within the house, do your thing, but you're going to be in a state where you wouldn't want to go out.
My
You
mother
just
gave me
have
a big
to.
bag of it. It's in the kitchen, and I haven't bought anything because she's been telling me that what you're telling me. I'm like, oh, honey, I don't know if I want that experience, but I've got it.
It's
I've got
very
some.
it's very good for centering the mind. That is
Okay.
the
So is
word.
it,
Yes,
this is
very
like a
nice.
handful of leaves, yeah, and just boil it and drink.
Yes, just boil, allow it to cool. Don't take it hot. Allow it to cool, then
Okay, a
you
cool
drink.
drink.
Yes, you
And that
drink
can
it.
be with, if someone's going to take that, could that just be a tea, like a cool tea in general, or should they take it with a purpose
Yeah,
to release
just take it
themselves?
with. Yes, no, don't take it like a tea because if you take it in the morning before going to work, you will not work.
Okay, well, no, what I mean is when you're drinking the soursop, should there be an
Mm.
issue within the person while they're drinking it, or can it just be a nighttime, but any day, whether you're stressed or depression or not?
Okay, let me make it
You
more
know what I mean?
specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I understand you. If you're taking only the leaf,
Mm-hmm.
you're taking it for anti-anxiety or depression.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Only
Only.
the leaf.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very good to release your brain from a lot of toxic environment maybe you have
Okay.
embodied. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you want to drink tea, you can drink something like seed on the back, which is moringa tea leaves. You can take those
Do you
ones.
know my father introduced me to that? As I said, I've been known to be an anxious queen. I'm getting better over time, but and he's like his friend said, give her some merengue tea, give her some merengue tea, and you know, I
Yes.
think it actually helped.
Yes, moringa is good for blood circulatory and kidney.
Mm. I think it actually helps. Obviously, you have the tea, even the soursop tea bags. I think you can get
Mm.
in London. We now, I think I've got some in my cupboard. I've never been drank, but you can get soursop mixed with cerci, mixed with different herbs. And I
Mm.
always have different types of herbs, whether it's for stomach relief or whether it's just chamomile or I don't know. I don't really think chamomile relaxes. I don't know. They say it does. What's your thoughts on chamomile?
It relaxes the mind, but it doesn't do it like soursop leaf.
Yeah. And what about
Soursop,
merengue tea leaves? Yeah. What about I'll give you one. You know, bay leaves.
yes, I know
Yeah.
bay leaves. Yes.
Yeah. As a typical Caribbean, it's often used um, in, you know, for cooking in curries or different things like that. Maybe you could throw it in a Caribbean soup. I'm sure African has their way of
Mm.
cooking with it. But interestingly enough, only up until about maybe 2 years ago, coming across a YouTube video, did I realize people use bay leaves in rituals. Yeah.
Yes.
Whether it's writing on it, burning it, I don't know. What's your thoughts in using bay leaves or any other leaves for a
When
manifestation ritual or whatever else? What do you think?
what do you think bay leaf is? The smell, the
The smell?
everything about what do you think the bay leaf is expressing?
I can't give a specific of what it's expressing, but naturally it's potent and
Okay,
it is a medicine naturally. And
okay.
it makes a
Do,
great difference when you're cooking it as well.
okay, let me hit something for you now.
Please,
Do you
yeah.
know that a lot of people who have body odor that started from how they were bettered from when they were born?
Say that again. People with body odor, it started from when they were born.
Many
Go.
people,
Hmm.
many people who have body odor, that
Hmm.
odor came from how they were bettered during the time they were born.
Mm.
Yes.
Because there are people that no matter what they do, no matter how much shower they take, they just have a smell.
Yes.
And we always put it down to the food that they eat, but it's not always that, is it?
It's
Mm-hmm.
not always that. It's from how they were betted when they were born.
Ooh.
Yes. Bay leaf is very good for that, to bet new baby, to remove all those odor.
You froze a little bit there, darling. Repeat that. You said bay leaves are very good, and then you froze.
Okay, bay leaf are good for newborn babies when you use it
How,
to
how,
bed them.
how would we
It
use
helps.
that? How would a mother use that during the birth? Talk us
You
through that.
put it, yes, you put it into their boiling water. The water
Mm-hmm.
you're going to use to bed them, you can just pick like 7 leaves and you put it inside, and then you use it to bed the child. It
Okay.
helps remove all those odor, bad odor. You
So you
remove
put
it,
it in the
and when
bath.
they grow up,
Mm-hmm.
yes, use
Mm-hmm.
it to bet the child.
Okay.
Normally, use it to bet the child.
And is
It's
that the
very nice.
actual leaves, or is there there's a spirituality connected to that? No.
Bay leaf now, there are a lot of fake bay leaf now.
Oh,
If you
okay.
can see, yes, the original bay leaf is longer.
Yeah, there's a lot of small,
You see,
small ones now, not as big as some.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
those long ones, and when you pick them, you will see that is different from the normal one you've been seeing. It's quite
Mm-hmm.
pronounced. The color when it's dry, everything is totally different. Very
Interesting.
long, nice, and pronounced. Thick,
Well,
very
so what
thick
is your
too.
thoughts in using bay leaves as a in rituals? What's your thoughts on people that do that, or whether you do it yourself? Do you use it to manifest anything or to dispel anything?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that?
If you look at the aroma, what do you think is good for?
I
I
don't
mean,
know. That's why
something
I'm asking you.
that can be used to cook can also be used for what? Sex ritual.
Oh, sex ritual. Now that's interesting. Talk to me. Let me
Yes.
know.
It's good when you inhale it. It gives you an energy different for
So it's the
expression.
aphrodisiac, as we call
Yes.
it. Really?
Yes.
You're the first
Yes.
person I ever heard saying that.
Is a good aphrodisiac. Not only it, there is this other essence
Wow.
that is very good for that. But probably as we go along, I will remember the name.
So
Bay
how
leaf
would
is
so
very good. Like somebody who is looking for a child, the ritual is mostly bay leaf and
Mhm.
rosemary. So when you bring two of them together, it embodies the gift of a child. So you bet them
Okay.
when during copulation. So you bet
Mhm.
rosemary and bay leaf. Yes.
Because you know people have the bundles like like burning bush whatever. I don't have
Mm.
mine now, and you see mixed bundles and you would see the bay leaves, you would see the rosemary, but it's very rare for me to see that in stores. But the people make it themselves, I guess. So you
Yeah.
feel like it's okay to be burning bay leaves, you're comfortable. There's a positive effect of it, yeah.
Yes, many people think it's mostly for attraction, maybe attracting abundance and all that.
Yeah, money,
But
new job, whatever.
leaf, yes, bay leaf is for sexual activities.
Oh, I better buy a
Yes,
big bag.
yes. If a lot of people who have been using it, if they pay much attention, they will notice that maybe after you use it, you feel kind of whole.
Oh wow, okay. So when you say burn it, would that just be burning it like a bush and the couple or the woman or the man in question would just inhale it and have it as a normal aroma? So it sets the tone. It's
Yes,
like burning sage but just bay leaves. Okay.
even you can drink the water. When you boil it, you can drink the water. It also helps. It's nice aphrodisiac. And the
Okay, that's a
best
major tip
aphrodisiac,
you just gave us there. I
yes,
never knew that.
the best aphrodisiac in a woman, that if you give it, or if any woman take it, they cannot stay just the next 1 hour without a man, is shine bush. shy bush.
Shy bush?
The shy bush, yes. You know that plant, when you touch it, it kind of gets shy and sleep.
Ah. So you're saying the man will turn into that?
No, it gets shy. When you touch the plant, it gets
Okay.
shy, kind of, the leaf sleeps.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
they embrace each other. When you touch it, they embrace each other. They feel your touch, and then they get shy, like they're
That is
running
so
away from you.
interesting. Oh, wow.
Yes, yes, shy bush. That is what they call it. That plant, if you're a woman who doesn't always feel like having a man around in that
Mm-hmm.
purpose, just get the plant from the root. You can dig it because it's very difficult to get it off from the root.
Mm-hmm.
So boil, drink the water. Very, very nice. You will start feeling like that very well. It's a great aphrodisiac.
Okay. So both men and women, would you say, yeah? Or just,
Yes,
yeah?
for both for
Very
a man
interesting.
is a good medicine for weak erection.
Have you heard of strongback? A herb called strongback?
Yes, sir?
Have you heard a herb that's named strongback?
Probably is called something else in my
Maybe,
place.
yeah. I think some Caribbeans, I think some Caribbeans classify it as strongback. I think maybe it's called something different. And you
Mm,
know, sometimes you have what they call it gazebo effect, or it's just in the mind. I'll give you an example, a little bit off track, but
mm,
same thing. There was a documentary, and they had these multiple couples, and they said they gave different couples different medicines. Some had blank, some had nothing in the medicine, it was a blank, but they told them
mm.
it's an aphrodisiac. So
Yes,
some couples was playing up, saying, "Oh, it was so good, the sex was amazing," and then the doctor said you was given a blank, but because you believed I gave you something, it
mm,
worked. The other couple said it was no different, so they were very in touch with themselves to know that there was no different. And
yes,
um, the one who had the real medicine, I think they were just the same because they're already high already. So it's interesting, yeah.
mm,
And then I came across a gentleman who spoke about something called strongback. Actually, we dated for a while, and I was like, I don't believe in these things. This is like in my 20s, you know, I'm in my 40s now.
mm.
And you know, he gave me that tea, and I didn't know it. That's why you can't trust people. I beg you can't trust people. Yeah, he gave me the tea, and all of a sudden I was there, and I said, you know, I feel weird. And he said, remember, I didn't know. I thought it was normal herbal tea. This is why I knew it was real because I didn't know. And I felt different. And I said to
Yes.
him, I feel very odd right now. And he said, odd in what way? I said, I feel extremely heightened and I feel like it's annoying me. Where's this coming from? And I'm talking and he's smiling and I'm like, why are you smiling? He said, because I gave you the tea. I said, don't you ever give someone something about their awareness. You know, so I was
Yes.
annoyed at him. I was annoyed at him, but I guess the point was proven. You know, it wasn't like a
Shine.
harmful drug. It wasn't going to be it wasn't a dangerous drug where he had to be concerned like that.
Mm.
But strong back did work. So maybe it's similar to these aphrodisiacs you're speaking of.
Shine bush is also like that. Don't don't even try shy bush. Don't even try shy bush if you're not ready for the outcome. In fact,
Wow.
some people perceiving the aroma self is already working.
So a lot of people
Shy
in
bush.
Nigeria is aware of these herbs, yeah?
So many people don't know it. Many people who are listening will know it, but many people in Nigeria don't even know it. I know it
I've got
because
Nigerian friends. I can't wait to tell them about this. They're going to say, who told you this? Yeah, who told you about this? Okay.
that in fact the plant is everywhere in Nigeria. A lot of people see it, but they don't even know what it works. And you have a lot of work, because that plant is also good for cancer.
Oh, so it's got multiple purposes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, shy bush. So when it's for the purpose of cancer, you have to bring in soursop, roots,
Mm.
leaf, and even hypertension. Also good for hypertension.
So these leaves are just, it's always good to have, because I would love to have a cupboard full of just herbs anyway. I'm building on that. So these kind of herbs is always good to have on standby anyway, whether you cook with it, whether you do rituals with it, whether you use it as an
Yes.
aphrodisiac or healing. Okay, it's good
So
to know.
all these herbs are nice. Like a man who is experiencing um, weak erection or early ejaculation,
A
you
lot of
get
men in London got that problem, honey. So please talk on it.
yes, you get
Mhm.
carrot leaf. Then you get lemongrass. Then you
I
add
love
shy bush.
lemongrass.
You add shy bush to it.
Oh, wow, a
You
concoction.
never yes, you never experience that again.
Wow. I'm really lately, only in the last 2 weeks, I think, or less, I've really been drawn to lemongrass smell in my home. I'm having it in the diffuser and the oil burner, and I love the smell. It actually does something to me. It just makes me feel amazing. Lemongrass.
Yes, lemongrass is very mental.
It's very mental, did you say?
Yes, it's very mental.
Mm.
Yes, it can help balance. Even just by perceiving it, your mind is already getting off some kind of stressful day or something just by perceiving.
I'm glad you said that. I know what I love. I love it when I'm unaware of something. In
So
But yet I feel the effect because I didn't know that. But since I've been burning it, not burning it, yeah, the oil burner and the diffuser, I feel so different in my home, like it shifted negative energy or something.
plant it in a pot in front of your door.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Now, if it's the
Hmm.
first thing you see when you're going out and when you're coming back at night, you will never have the same energy coming into the house. So when you're coming back, you're touching it and you're smelling it, it's kind of taking off all those energy, you know.
So
But
can
you
I
need
just
to
buy it or do
protect
I
it.
have to plant it myself for it to have that effect?
Yes, you can just plant it. The effect is different when you perceive it and when it's lively. When
Okay.
it's alive, it connects to you more. So because when
Hmm.
you touch it, you smell it, you kind of feel different. It will take away that
Yeah,
energy if you're
it
sad
has a whole
coming in.
different feeling on me.
So when you're opening your door and you're going inside, you're going with a different energy.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
when you wake up, yes, when you wake up in the morning and you're going out, it's the first thing you're touching. So it kind of gives you a different energy. You will vibrate differently all the time.
That is good to
So
know. Thank you
yes,
so much.
plant like that can actually embody you.
I believe. I believe because of how it's made me feel and how I've been within my own home in the last week. Since yeah, it's very, and I never knew that. Well, but what I've been
Yes,
seeing is a change in me with that.
yes.
So,
It kind
so
of
definitely there's
changes.
proof there.
Yes, it changes the aura within
Mm,
any home or environment. It's just
interesting.
sometimes when you're sleeping at night, you will perceive it when you plant it around your house.
Mm,
So when you perceive it, it kind of sorts you somehow.
good to know. But you know what I find
Yes.
really interesting? I'll say this before we slowly close the live. I
Mhm.
used to drink lemongrass. And then I haven't had it for about a few months. And then since I've been using it as the oils, the burning oils around the home, I just thought, oh, I'll get some lemongrass yes 2 days ago. And as I drank it, I don't know if I like it anymore to drink it because I've been having it around me in smell for so long. But
Yes.
prior to it's weird. I feel like I'm drinking perfume. It is I don't know if I like
yes.
it like that anymore. Is that weird?
Mm. Yes, because you've become it now. You've been perceiving it. It's too much already in your stomach. So
It
the
was so
yes.
I've always loved drinking it. Suddenly,
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know if I like drinking it anymore. I've had the smell around me for 1 week in different rooms constantly, and so it
Drinking
smells like
it
I'm drinking perfume.
will be like taking too much into you. It's just like
That's,
that is
that's
why
how I felt.
sometimes when you cook, you wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to eat from the food you've prepared.
Straight
Why?
away.
Because
Yeah.
you've been perceiving everything. So you are already filled.
That's what it is. I'm glad you can make sense of that.
So
Okay. Well,
yes.
you
So
know,
when you drink it, yes,
go on, my
go ahead.
brother. Go on. You go.
So when you drink it, it can make you uncomfortable because in your system is already too much because you are embodying it. So
That's
it's
what it
even
is.
more powerful when you perceive things. Most of those plants are more powerful when you perceive them.
So drink it, you mean, when you drink it, of course.
When you smell it, it's acting like that because you're smelling it. That is why you're having that reaction. Why? Because you're taking the greater potential of that plant. That is what it's meant for. Yes.
Interesting. Well, you know, today I was going to touch on another topic, but I know as time is flowing and I've kept you, I think, long today, I saw you, maybe we can do this another day, or maybe I can find the video and post it on here. You were speaking about, I'm just going to touch on it, guys, and I'm going to pause, okay? Adika was speaking about on his TikTok how foolish men can be to think that they are polygamous. So he said, no, that's a woman could be do polygamy. And I was like, I've never heard anyone say that ever. Yeah, that's so interesting. So maybe,
Okay.
yeah, if you've
Okay.
got time, you're welcome to share it. If not, we can try and have you back or I can find that video. Let me know your thoughts. How are you for time?
My time is very much okay. I have time.
Okay, let that be the last topic of the night then, yeah? Um, where men, I mean, I always thought it was true because we've been nurtured to feel that way, I guess. For the longest time, men has been, known and they've adapted um, the statement of men are not supposed to be a one woman. We are, an animal kingdom and we are polygamous. And then you said, well, actually, men are hunters. Remember that. Yeah. So go into where that life came from. Like where did that even where that conversation stem? Let's start from there.
Oh, okay. A lot of men misunderstand the concept of a woman, and
Talk to me, brother.
you can never understand a woman if you don't think like a woman, because there is a part of every man that is also a woman. That is why a man can be emotional and also be compassionate. But
Mm-hmm.
men often put their ego first. So instead of understanding a woman, they kind of put themselves higher than a woman. Because
Mm-hmm.
naturally, a woman is highly intuitive than a man and also
Mm-hmm.
expresses itself like the universe. So, what is closest to the outer universe? That is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, a woman naturally is more polygamous in nature than a man because a woman can just sit and attract. A man would rather chase. A man doesn't attract. Even a woman who is
Ooh.
pregnant will also attract a chaser.
Yeah,
You
I
see the
experienced that.
difference?
It was weird.
Yes, even a woman who is pregnant, you still have a man who will like you, even pregnant.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
So a woman can keep a man quiet because she is principled. So
Mm.
a woman is more principled than a man, and before a woman cheats, they really cheat.
Yes,
Yes, a
yes.
man would cheat because of ego. A man cheats because of ego. Why? Because she's satisfying a desire, which means the ego is also in play at that moment.
Do you not think that sometimes men cheat because I'm not, we're not giving reason to encouraging it, but
Mm.
is there not a time where a man's ego isn't there why he cheats, but maybe a need or he's lacking at home or he's not getting, whether it's the sex, the attention, the love or something from home? Is it always ego based? Is it not always emotional or spirit based?
That is what I'm saying. a man cheats because of ego. It's either the ego
Ultimately.
is hot, so he
Okay.
will cheat
Okay. All
to
right.
keep the ego in state, because why? The
Uh-huh.
ego is being hot.
Okay.
So that is why most men will cheat, because you have insulted their ego.
Ah, okay.
But
I totally get it.
a
Mhm.
woman will never cheat because her ego is being insulted. Women
Why would
they
she
don't
cheat?
operate like that. A woman
Mm-hmm.
will cheat because she is no longer a priority.
Ah.
Because that is what
Mm,
makes her a
mm,
woman.
mm.
She comes first. Even when you're
Yes.
walking, even when you walk, she will act like she doesn't understand that you need to put in the work. But also, while you put in the work, you still you have to make her understand that she comes first.
So the fact that I love that you're expressing that, and I see a couple of hearts going up, so that means somebody related to what you were saying. The fact that the universe, you are the only person I've ever come across in my life that speaks like this. However, the universe and the internet and the YouTube, there is a quadrillion billion men based on their own research or whether it's ego with the research from many years ago before I was born that talks about men. I was not created to be one woman. Men are the one that, so therefore I've heard a recent podcast of a couple of brothers talking about, women know that a man's going to cheat based on the nature of us being polygamy. And I thought,
Mm.
okay, so what's your thought on that? What do you think of that perception or perspective of a woman knows a man's going to cheat 99% of the time, so therefore she just kind of accepts it or she doesn't accept it?
Normally, men
Hmm.
think, because this knowledge is what is being inscribed into us as a man,
Okay, now. Hmm.
to be more dominant, to be more dominant.
Hmm. Hmm.
So many men feel kind of, they feel, in fact, so many men cannot be in a relationship with a woman who they
Mm.
cannot dominate.
Please, this clip's going to be resent everywhere because they need to hear this. And this is why
So
they say a lot of women are becoming masculine. This is one of the reasons why as well. But carry on.
so
Hmm.
90% of men will tell you they love a woman who
Hmm.
is loyal. And when they say loyal, they mean a woman who doesn't question their ego. So the expression of a man saying, I need a loyal woman, no, that man is not talking about loyal in the expression of your own understanding. That
Hmm.
word loyal means a woman who will not question their ego.
And I think it all that as well, but I think it's also a question of it doesn't matter whether he can lead or not, whether he's stable or not. Just don't go nowhere. I'll do anything to you. I can do anything to you. She stayed through
Yes,
thick and thin. So now that I've put her through the
yes,
trash, now I call her my queen. She's been through everything with me.
yes.
You
Actually,
see
a
this moment a
woman
lot,
who is
yeah?
like that, a woman who is like that is
Yeah.
actually not okay mentally. That is the kind of women men love, because a woman
Oh,
who
brother
thinks like
Kevin,
that
please.
is not okay mentally. She's not operating on her fullest potential, because there are so
100%.
many other relationships from the past that have actually blocked that woman from
Mhm.
understanding who she really is. So she
Yeah.
lacks love for herself. So a woman like
Yeah.
that will do anything to please a man, even when you're cheating, she's
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
So that will make the woman act desperate. And when a woman acts desperate, the man will ride on that.
Yes, he will. But then this is I find it so interesting, and thank you for sharing that part. I find it so ironic. Upon my years of observation, and I've got five brothers, I've got a lot of men in my family and male friends, and it's interesting. what they think a good woman is. It's so interesting because a lot of it seems to be she's put up with a lot of crap and she's still been there. And then maybe after they've, you know, done so much things and been everywhere and they're 110, I'm going to settle down with her now. She's the one.
Yes, that
Really?
is what they understand. So many men, that is how we
Bloody
think.
ridiculous.
But
Rather be on my
we
own.
fear we fear those women who speak for themselves. Why? Because
That's
you
me.
cannot, you cannot, you cannot push them around, which means they will tell you your truth. Men doesn't like to be told their truth.
And therefore, a woman who is like that and somewhat like me would be classified as what? A challenge or difficult.
Yes, they will fear you. They will say they will classify you as bad independent, bad
Mm-hmm,
independent.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'm always saying, as we touch on that, that when a woman is generally content and well treated, and I know good treatment goes both ways, yeah. When a
Mm.
woman is generally, you know, treated well, and she's content in her position, and she knows her position, she will
Yes,
naturally choose to submit in different areas. You won't have to bully her into it.
yes,
Because you see me, and I say it openly, as let me tell you, as much as I can be a fierce black woman, I can be a gentle pussycat. You would be like, that is not the same woman I saw. No way. And I love my balance. It's rare that I see that side of me because a lot of the males do not warrant that softness. But that's what they're craving from us. But you have to be operating on a level that women can trust you with ourselves. And therefore, you will have the gentle submission that you all want. But once we submit, where are you leading us to? Because a lot of them don't have direction,
yes.
continuity, and
Like
purpose. So why would we submit to someone who's not able to lead?
you are like this because you value yourself, because
Mm-hmm,
everything about you come first, and that is
mm-hmm,
something so many women lack, and that is the spiritual part of a woman. That is what
mm-hmm,
makes you a woman. That is your essence,
mm-hmm,
to put yourself first and love yourself. You don't
mm-hmm.
need somebody to tell you you are beautiful to know that you are actually enough and beautiful.
There's times where I lack it though, honey. There's times, and let me tell you, and thank you for
No,
saying that.
no,
Mhm.
I understand,
We
because
have our
when you
emotions
want
and our
it
dips,
is
you know.
actually you want it from a man who is actually expressing that side of you. For you to
Absolutely.
actually
We
love a
do.
man so much means that the man have walked their path and they are meeting you on your own level.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So they are not dependent on you. It's kind of draining.
I'll be honest with you, I actually wish that a lot of the men in the UK would spend time in Africa and then come back. I've been saying this, Caribbean men don't like when I say it, but oh well. Because I feel
Like
like, can I explain
mm,
why I said that? I know that there is good and bad. Maybe you don't want to use the word good and bad, but there's, you know, different levels of people in every country. There's good and bad, light and dark in every person, every country, every race. But in
yes,
my experience, even if you have a player or a playboy and he's Nigerian or he's Ghanaian or whatever it is, or Ethiopian,
mm,
there is a level of how they tend to take care of their women. Yeah. A lot
yes,
of
yes,
Caribbean see as controlling. Yes, African men, like Caribbean men, like many men, can be controlling, you know. But
mm,
even if that man is a playboy, that woman somehow still feel like she's being taken care of on a certain level of consistentness. Because it's more than
yes,
the Caribbean boys I see in UK. Caribbean
yes,
men,
yes.
you need to spend some time in Africa and come back.
So
That's my
like
experience from me dating African men.
I kind
I
of
do prefer to date African men.
I look any man who thinks a woman they have right to cheat. I look at them differently. I'm not saying I'm
Okay.
perfect,
No,
but
I understand. Mm-hmm.
there is something not okay about that mentality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at it like this, a man in his life, probably all the women in his life, he chased all of them.
Okay.
And now you look at a woman, all the men in her life chased her. And some of them she did not
Do you
even
think?
agree to. So
You think?
she is just okay, count the ones she rejected all through her life. More plenty, right? More than the one she accepted. So naturally, she just sitting there and attracting. Forget the fact that they say women don't chase. It's a natural thing.
Okay.
Nobody inscribed that teaching into them, because when a woman is growing up, she naturally knows that in her instinct that it's not okay for her to chase. So she just attracts. She feels
Yes.
it within that no, it's not okay. She doesn't need anybody to tell her. Most women learned that themselves. Nobody told them, you don't need to chase a man. So even when she loves you so much, she's having sleepless night, she will never tell you. Why? Because she respects herself.
Do
Her
you know?
statue
Can I
must
ask you
not
a
come down.
question then? Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you right there. Can I ask you a question on that note? And it's interesting you would say that.
Okay.
You see what can I put, the bracket of, as you just said, a woman wouldn't tell a man that because she respects herself. Do you know that for me as an individual woman, depending on the person, yeah, I don't see it as a lack of respect for myself, me being transparent. I feel like it empowers me, my brother. And let me tell you why. Naturally, if I'm throwing myself at somebody and he's unworthy, then I'm going to feel like an idiot. I'm going to feel like I've disrespected myself. You're so right. But even if it's the first month, first year, and I feel like actually, I tell you why I'm saying this. Sometimes us women, we play up when we're not expressing the truth of how we're feeling. We do silly things. You don't realize behind the scenes, it's like the same woman that's strong on the camera. Go and see her offline. Crying, scratching his car, tearing his clothes, madness. Yeah? I'd rather say, which I've said before, you know something, honey? You know the reason why I'm acting like an ass? Because I'm so into you and I don't want to be into you. And he will laugh because it's like, women don't say this stuff. I become like a girl. So why not be a woman and say, I'm feeling you, I'm into you. And you know what? I didn't like this. I felt jealous yesterday. And that's why I'm playing up. I always love to show that. And many men are like, wow, we're not used to women saying that. There's a lot of pretending because they have to pretend to, the 30-day calendar. I've got to look like this. It's hard work, my brother, to pretend to be something. A lot of us are pretending.
A woman,
A lot
I
of
wouldn't
pretending
say
going on with us
that
girls,
that is pretending. A woman doesn't pretend.
My
See, a
brother,
woman is
I'm
like
a woman, and I'm saying
a
to you,
woman.
I'm around many women, and there's a lot of
Mm,
pretending in terms of, we call it fronting, which means um, I'm gonna react. I'm gonna overreact with you. You might say, but I've only known her for 1 month. Why is she overreacting? Maybe if I tell you, it's because it's you I want to be with. Maybe because as opposed to behaving like an idiot, an angry black woman. Just say, Adika, you know something, you've been on my mind, and I'm twisted. I need to see you now. When am I going to see you? I'm that woman that would tell you that. So that I don't act like an ass and I can maintain my womanhood. And you see that it's not like I'm a fool for you, but I am empowered by me being able to express real woman emotion. And maybe that man will feel like, you know what? I've been told many times, there's not a lot of women like you, Silver. Because when I play up, I act like an ass.
Your own, you now, the way you express yourself is different,
I
A
am.
lot of women are also different in that aspect because
Yes.
they
Mm-hmm.
see
Mm-hmm.
man doesn't have ego. We always think we have a lot of ego, but
Okay.
a woman have more ego than a man.
Oh my God, yes.
And
Yes.
a woman will always choose her ego instead of the expression. she's not choosing her ego. I use maybe respect the other time, but probably you didn't get what I mean.
Oh,
Let me
apologies.
go deeper.
Mhm. Okay.
What I mean by that is like this. Naturally,
Mm-hmm.
when a woman look at a man,
Mm-hmm.
she loves. She's the first instinct is how her babies will look like with this man. Very, very
Mm-hmm.
important. In fact, you haven't proposed, but women weigh more things than a man. That is
Mm-hmm.
why they are creators.
Yes.
So when they look at you, they are imagining what can I create out of this man,
Mm-hmm.
and that is everything. So they will never come to tell you. They need to set that standard for you to work on.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
naturally, some men think, I got her. It's my experience. I know how to speak. I know how to say sweet, sweet things.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't get her because of your sweet words. You got her because she laid it down for you.
Mm-hmm. Tell him, brother. Tell him.
So is not your decision. In fact, before you said that, she's been laying that because she meets you like today. She try you, and the fence is too high for you. She knows, oh, okay, you can't climb. The next day, she kind of reduce it a little for you to climb because you have to make effort. Your
Mm-hmm.
effort is what shows her that yes, you are actually willing and you can fight for something you believe in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a woman waiting doesn't mean she is disrespecting herself. She is
Mm-hmm.
weighing the man and knowing how she places her importance. What is this
Absolutely.
man's priorities? How does he
Mm-hmm.
pursue things? Because a woman can actually identify how you pursue them and refer it to how you relate to things in your physical life, how you pursue your
100%.
dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can chase her as hard like that, that means if you're pushed, you can actually achieve something out of your dream.
And what would you say to the men who potentially will say to women, "I really like you. I'm really attracted to you. I'm just taking time to, do A, B, and C, D." But the woman never sees the man. The woman, he doesn't take her out. There's no one, nothing. Should he take such men seriously? I mean, I've been telling this to my younger females in the last 2 days of, how this looks. But as a man, if you're
This,
telling a woman you like her, you want to spend time with her, but you don't really call her, you never take her out, you don't really responding to her messages every 3 days, should you even take him seriously? This is not for me, really. It's for just the.
you know, women are like this.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of they love you more even when they're angry, and
Oh.
even in that angry, they need to be around you to clear all that up. So if you create that distance, and
Mm-hmm.
they have to find another way to sort themselves out when they are angry, you're losing value.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Does that mean you're the love doctor too? Does that mean in Nigeria, you have lots of women throwing themselves at you then? I have to ask. Because you're very intuitive and you're very knowledgeable. And I think that this is an attractive trait.
I don't chase. That's why.
Oh, so after all of that, you're not the hunter, I beg. Why? Why?
I don't.
So you still see yourself as a hunter who doesn't hunt?
I am like this. I'd rather be in my space. Most people who know about women don't talk much about it. I don't talk about women. You will never see me in any way talking about women unless maybe it's just because of this programming, because this is also spirituality. It's a part of
Mhm.
it.
But you know what I find very interesting, and we can start closing the live on this. The thousands of podcasts and lives and books and whatever else, especially live and podcasts, the majority of people that speak about relationships in real life, they're not good with relationships.
No.
And my wisdom has seen this. I'm around different people in my time, and the same people that's up there with all the knowledge and all of this and all of that in their own life, it's very complex, and they can't seem to sustain relationships. That's probably what makes them
Yeah.
so wise as well, bad experiences. Yeah,
Yes,
but
because
that always intrigues me how people are
most
not
of
able
the
to,
things,
you know.
most of these things we see in another is most things we are blinded that is happening within us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what you see very clearly in another person is actually something you need to heal within yourself.
Maybe in
So we
some
get to,
areas. Maybe in some
yes,
areas. Yeah.
we get to refer it to people because it kind of feels certain and relieving when it's not us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But for you to
Interesting.
see it means you can recognize it and it's present within you.
Hmm. Absolutely. I think the recognition would be present, even if it's something that you, I tell you, it's so true what you just said, because there's many things that I could recognize, either because I'm existing in that moment myself, or it's been a
Yes.
past reflectivity that I've lived. And I tell
Mm.
you, I emphasize more on that. I remember saying to someone on my couple of lives ago, and I remember saying about watching something on TikTok. It's a very emotional counselor speaking to a family, black family, you know, abandonment issues between the mom and, you know, the child, and forgiveness and apologies. And I have not experienced that whatsoever. But I was sobbing so much. I was like, which I've never experienced before. But I said to myself, this is interesting, because sometimes you are resonating or even crying when you're watching something because you're feeling for the person. But sometimes
Yes.
you're crying for something within yourself. Something
Yes,
about that
because
scene has
yes,
triggered
you can
you, which has nothing to
reflect.
do with them.
Yes.
It's in you.
Yes. Yes, you can reflect. You can reflect
So you're
because you've
so
had
right.
experience. So
Mm-hmm.
when you reflect because of your own experience, you can adapt. That is why spirituality is difficult, because after going all through the healing, the shadow work, the grounding, and all that, you get to start
Mm.
recognizing things that actually affected you. So when you feel it,
Yes.
it reopens that part. And when that part is reopened, that means you can actually adopt that energy and feel the way that person felt at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whew, this has been an amazing live. Thank you so much for all of that. Before you go, before we officially close it, let's go to the couple of comments that has been added. I know Hereby Chi has just said something. Oh, Hereby Chi is just saying hi to his friend. Hi, guys, and thank you very much for joining us today. Wow. Adika, how has it been for you now? Share some afterthoughts. How's it been for you today? Well, we got a much, you know, we can flow slowly, and we've gone into different conversations and realms of it. How do you feel today being on Free Flowing Thoughts?
Today, I feel I haven't expressed enough, but you have to
Ooh,
go with the time. Yes, I have a lot to
yeah.
say. Yeah, but we're
Okay.
just taking it one after the other, and it's really flowing. And you
Mhm.
know that thing they say, when it gets flowing, it's about to get real. And when you cut it off, you cut off the energy.
Ooh, wow. You know, I'm always mindful, especially of other people's time as well. So I'm thinking today I'm keeping you for a long time, and you may have, you know, things to do. But I think, yeah, I think there's a lot to you and a lot to what you could share. And I'm 100% enjoying our exchange, specifically today, even more than the other time.
Mm,
I'm enjoying your glow. I'm enjoying your spirit. Like I said to you,
yeah.
your lumen, you're just so magnifying today, your spirit. And I like the flow of how we're exchanging. So it seems like I'm going to have you back on the part three.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
But as you said,
I'm
I
okay
haven't
with
even
that.
begun to express myself. So I haven't even begun to touch the surface. So if you guys, especially if you want to have this soulful brother back, you know, that would be amazing. Perhaps, guys, you can inbox me some topics that I can put to Adika that we can also talk about on the live. Is that okay, Adika?
Yes, that would be fine. At least it can help broaden everything.
Yeah. So I'm going to be in touch with you within the next few days, and I'm going to be seeing how your diary fits. But I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to bless us with your presence. It's been amazing, and you are appreciated.
Okay, just to close up,
Hmm.
for everyone who is here,
Hmm.
you can only express what you have embodied. So
Mm.
if there is chaos existing within you, that is why you can express chaos. So if there is balance existing within, that is why you can express balance. So
Yes.
everything is about within. So
Hmm.
let's do the work because we mostly speak about the spirituality, but we avoid the work because it's very painful. If you have to walk this
Mm.
path, you must be in your truth, which means that difficult truth, you must also be able to tell yourself the truth. So if you're a person, you can only love somebody as much as you have mastered loving yourself.
That is the most reflective and beautiful ending. Thank you so
So
much. Perhaps on our part 3, we can actually talk
thank
about
you.
the healing and the self work and maybe the shadow work and all the bits that you can add to that will take us to the next level. Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
having me,
much.
Carissa.
Namaste. Have a wonderful night, and I'll speak to you shortly. Peace and
Thank
love.
you.
Bye
Kamago.
bye. You can just exit the live. You can press that little cross. Wow, guys, that was amazing. I really, really genuinely enjoyed that live. It was really, really informative and really relaxed. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the live. If you missed the beginning, you're gonna want to watch it. Yeah. This week, Friday, I am back with King Nigel, the self-proclaimed, what could I say, shapeshifter, and so much more. Let's see. He's going to be talking about spiritual feng shui, horoscopes, energy and vibrations, and so much more. I think this is his 5th episode, should I say? He'll be returning back on. So look back in. Yeah, he's not for the faint-hearted. He really, really is not for the faint-hearted. So hope to see you all on Friday. Yeah. Peace and love, guys. Thank you so much.